Yeah.
Mike?
All right, Mike, take it away.
All right, thank you, coach. Good to be back. 3 losses in a row.
Yep.
The boys are back in training now, focusing on this weekend, big clash against the Blackhawks. What's the main talk in training this week?
Yep, I think just energy. You know, we know we've had a couple of losses, and but if you watch our session, you wouldn't think so with the energy that the boys are bringing. So, you know, really happy that the boys have taken control of that and they're bringing the energy to training. So it's all about energy level at the moment.
Today's training session, I think it's a lot more on defense.
Yes, yeah, we did attack yesterday, and we're just a lot more focused on our defence. Pretty much just a regular session that we normally do. I think the biggest difference was just the boys' energy levels, and we've got a lot more players back from injury. Now we've only got 3 long-term injuries now. So it's Benji, Wylan and Koso. We had a lot of injuries early, and these 3 are starting players for us as well, normally. So they're the only ones out at the moment.
You had 3 losses coming into this. Most times in the game, the team was leading, and then the others came from behind. Do you think that it's a question of defense or conditioning, especially for the team? Do you think the players have put in the effort to play the full 80 minutes? Is Santos an 80 minutes team? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, we started off the season, I think we were second or third best defensive team in the competition, right up until North, I'd say, and then North, and then we had a short turnaround to Blackhawks, and we dropped a little bit from there. And I think that sort of also marks where we are in the season. You know, this is a very difficult competition, and to the emotion and the effort you have to rise and fall every week is pretty difficult. And you can't just come in and do that. You have to be seasoned for that. And I think hat off to the boys. I think they've carried themselves really well, considering the amount of inexperience that we have. You know, if someone, for example, like Murray, for example, you know, even Rob, he didn't have that many games last year, and he played in the wing and centre. So he's playing back row, a very hard position, and I mean, he's doing like 40 tackles a game, 0 misses one game. You know, so it takes a lot out of you, and I think that has something to do with it as well. But I'm lucky to have the players that I have that just come and just give their best every game. I think probably out of all the games, there might have been one game that I thought we could have done a bit better effort-wise. Apart from that, I think they've just given their all every game. But I'd say just sometimes with the game how it is now, just those certain errors at certain times really hurt us, you know, and we're just learning to recover from those errors or learning to win back the next set. At the moment, things are just compounding. You know, they might score on us, and then instead of having a really good defensive set, we might give a silly penalty away, which leads to another try. So just learning that, I think. But yeah, definitely lucky to have the players. The new boys that have come in have just come in and done their best, and that's all I can ask.
Yeah, last year you had a surge towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
What was the motivation behind that, and do you think you guys can maybe replicate that this season again?
Yeah, I think probably we had a bye this very round last year, the same way we got beaten by Falcons. Everything's very similar. We're actually a bit higher in the competition actually than we were last year at this time. But yeah, most definitely, it's all achievable. It just depends if the boys believe, what we believe, and we believe that we should be higher on the ladder. We believe we need to remain in that top 4 position. That's what we believe, and I think it's just managing energy levels and bringing, just like what you saw today at our session, just bringing that energy again in our captain's run and leading into the game. I think that should do it for us.
Do you think the team is in mid-season form slump, or what do you think? Do you think the team is in that part? Can be considered like mid-season form slump?
Yeah, I think we're all right. I think we started the season off really well. Definitely, as I said before, just the personnel. It's a lot of boys' first years, and only a lot with just a few games coming into this season. So I think just being able to manage that energy level, because it takes a lot out of you emotionally. You got to get really high every week, drop, and then pick it back up again. So that's why normally they say seasoned player, because you've had a couple of years in it. We don't have that luxury at the moment, so I wouldn't say it's a slump at all. I just think there's a few areas that we need to fix, and we're working really hard to fix it.
Coach, how important is this weekend's game heading into the end of the season?
Oh yeah, it's very important for us. It's a good test for us as well. You know, Blackhawks are sitting up there, and got a little bit of, you know, we remember what they did to us when we were playing in Townsville. So that was a very short turnaround actually after that Norths game, which the boys got really high, played really, really well. Really short turnaround. That's what I'm talking about, the energy levels, you know, just being able to manage that. But definitely an important game for us in our own. We've broken the season up into our own little mini blocks, and this is the first of our next block, so it's a must-win for us.
You have Judah Rimbu back in the side.
Yes.
And he had a run the last time. How do you see him fitting in? What's his spot in the team, especially him coming back and taking, you know, making a shift in some of the positions in the team? What's his role going forward?
Yeah. Oh, he's a hooker. Yeah, definitely. He's a very good hooker. I mean, he was purchased by a Super League club, so he had other interests as well. We were just lucky to get him. I think he had some unfinished business here. He could have gone to any club, really, to be honest with you. I wasn't, you know, a little bit surprised, but not really, because I know how much the Hunters mean to Judah, and I know how much all the players mean to him. And he was there with us that last year where we got knocked out in North, and I feel as though he thinks he's got some unfinished business. He wants to come and give back to the Hunters. He wants to come and share his knowledge, you know, playing at one of the highest levels in England, and he wants to come and share that with the rest of the boys. And I see him as a hooker and bringing that experience. He does a lot of work off the ball, Judah. Like, he does a lot of work off the ball, does a lot of clean-up stuff, and especially if you've got some inexperienced middles, to have someone that's got a bit of experience like Judah, a lot of experience, it helps. You know, and that's what we saw. We've got inexperienced middles and we've got someone with a lot of experience. So that makes sense to bring him in to help us out.
Coach, will you be able to name the half pairing for this weekend's game?
Yeah, no, not just as of yet. We've named an extended bench, but extended squad. 23-man squad. So we'll finalise that just before the game, I think. So yeah, Josh coming back adds another dimension to everything. So, and we all know what Josh can do. I think, you know, a lot of people forget Josh and Jamie. Actually, it's funny, rugby league, how people forget about how good players can be within a matter of weeks. You know, it's pretty disappointing. But I definitely haven't forgotten, and the other players haven't forgotten. So all the players, even the boys that are injured, we don't forget about them and what they can do when they're at their best.
Wes Tenza is in the training team today. What's your comment?
Yeah, no, Wes is coming to help us out. Yeah, he's. I had something to do. I had a little to do with him. I was assistant coach when he was a player. Also, when he made the Kummels, he's a Hunter representative. Represented the country as well in the World Cup. He's an extremely good person. He's good to have around the team. And I asked if he could come and help us out, and he said yes. So yeah, it was the players received him really well.
Can you provide a little bit of update on Wayambi? He's in the camp.
Yeah, so that happened. Wasn't actually initially. It was we get on with the Kappas really well. I get on with the coach really well. Lionel rang me and asked. He said they're really light for outside backs, and he said, "Oh look, how's what are you doing with Maria?" And I said, "Well, Sonny's leading the competition in tries at the moment. It's hard to sub Sonny out." He said, would be interested, and I said, yeah, but would he be playing in your starting team? He said yes, and I try to make that as soon as possible, because it's the best thing for Maria. I want him to reach his goals. He's got goals that he wants to reach this year, and I want to help him get there. So we did it as fast as we could. We could try to get him a week beforehand so he could play straight away. I check up on him, I make sure he's doing all right, and I spoke with him just before his game, congratulated him. And I wish him all the best. We play him next week, and I hope he has a good game. Yeah.
If in case of injury to the fullback at the moment, who would be a light replacement apart from Maria?
Dougie, Gyro, Solo, Graham. Yeah, quite a few. We've got contingencies for that, but it was too big of a. I'm not going to keep Maria sitting here playing at Vipers or 18th man. I want him to play footy. I want him to play for a Host Plus Cup team. So he's had other opportunities to go elsewhere, but it wasn't Cup. It wasn't Host Plus Cup. So as soon as that opportunity came, we tried to do it as quick as we can for him. And I would have done it for anyone else, any of the other players. Yeah, we care player first, so we want him to play well.
Social media commentary made about the disruption of team consistency with inclusion of Judah Rainbow. What do you make of his inclusion? Like like bringing in Judah Rainbow straight into the team, disrupt the consistency of the team. There were some commentaries around this. What do you make of this comment?
Yep. I mean, it's just those. It's people that watch. We have a lot of really good fans, and the ones that come and support us, and they stick with us through and through. These are the fans that win or lose. That they're there to support, and they understand. See, there's a lot of other fans that also think they're coaches, but they watch the game on the weekend and they make an assessment from an 80-minute game. We put hours and hours, 12 hours a day here, whether they're watching video or the boys are training 2 hours a session. Where are they then? They make comments. They make comments from sitting at home watching TV. And I love our fans. I think they're great and they support us really well. But there's got to be a little bit of trust there. We want to win as well. We want to win as a club. The players want to win as well. And I feel as though Judah's adding to our team. And I think he's going to share a lot of his experience with all the younger boys as well and the other middles. And he's not the reason why we lost, because there were some games we lost and he wasn't here, so I'm not sure who to blame for that. Yeah.
Coach, sorry, one last one from me. The visiting team, they have a good quality forward pack, so having someone like Jacob Lott adding that flair of Martin Lang type run on the field, how does that boost for you guys for this week?
Yeah, definitely, and Kaya as well. He's hard to stop, Kaya. So I don't know if you remember that trial we had against him, but he was unstoppable. Scored a couple of tries. Really powerful player. So we're lucky enough to have players that can add that attack, but there's attack and defence as well. So we've got to worry about the defensive side of things as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.